Andor Season 2 Episode 4 just dropped, and while I didn't hate the first 3 episodes, this new arc is a vast improvement. We get some amazing storytelling, World War II references, and Star Wars Easter eggs. So let's discuss 20 references that you may have missed in this episode. We come to find out that the boy in the dream is one that Cassian unalived. It's such an emotional and strong beginning to the new arc that is hinting at the necessity of taking life. The pigeons on Ghoran are a reference to the pigeons that were used in World War II to spy and carry messages. It's a visual intro to the spy scene where it seems everyone is listening to Cyril. The Ghoran language sounds like French because it is a reference to the French resistance from World War II, a resistance group who would recruit anyone willing to help in their cause, which makes sense for them to target Cyril because he gave them an inside ear, but it also is historically consistent. I really like the web that Dedra spun with Cyril's talks with his mother, which were set up to bait the Ghoran front into recruiting Cyril. But it also has another unmentioned use that we will discover later on. And yes, the Ghoran front took the bait. If you remember, the protest and the plans that the Ghoran front mentioned previously in the first episode were useful to the Empire to allow them to infiltrate Ghoran. Dedra said, "You need Ghoran rebels that you can depend on to do the wrong thing." It was all planned. The monument is from the Tarkin massacre, when Grand Moff Tarkin landed his cruiser on a group of peaceful Ghoran protesters that wiped out 500 civilians. Cyril puts wire on the door as an alarm so that he knows if anyone enters his home. Basically, if the wire moves or is dislodged, he will know. Resistance fighters and spies use this tactic often during World War II. It's old, it's simple, and it's reliable. Please tell me that I'm not the only one who was freaked out that Cyril actually has keepsake spiders on his shelf. As if he couldn't get any more weird, he has to start collecting arachnids. Suitable for his character? Yes. Weird? 100%. This line by Bix not only is amazing in and of itself, but it is absolutely a theme of the show. If I'm giving up everything, I want to win. We have to. It was fun to see the Imperials watching a pod race that looks to be on Tatooine. It even had the same sounds.
I'm betting heavily on the Sebulba.
Is this a Star Wars vacuum when Cyril is walking in? I really can't think of any other purpose. Also, when is it going on sale? Because I want one. It is interesting to see how even the Imperial officers are scared to speak out against their commanders. It was a good example of how tense those meetings could be. But later this theme of fear continues as the senators are afraid to go against the Emperor. Not everyone is willing to put their political career on the line like Mon Mothma does. Even Senator Dasi from Ghoran won't speak out against the Emperor. The forearm slap that the Ghoran do is basically a bras d'honneur. I probably messed that up. Variants of it are common in many cultures, and from the context you can guess what it means. It's nice to see that Luthen has his own version of the bat signal. Even though Luthen is asking for Cassian's assessment of Cara Rylands, does he really want Cassian's assessment? Has Luthen already decided what he is going to do? Luthen is way too clever for this to be just a simple assessment. Jakar is where the Resistance base was in The Force Awakens, but obviously without the tubes or the Civil War guns. You may remember the engineer, Wilmon, from Ferrix from the first season of Andor. He created a bomb that was used during the Ferrix uprising. The device that Saw received at the end of the episode is a rhydonium-fueled explosive device. It can only be managed by elite engineers. We have seen rhydonium several times in the animated shows Clone Wars and Rebels. Rhydonium is very explosive, and it must be handled with extreme care. Saw Gerrera's speech in the interrogation scene is fantastic. Saw's minions just listen. In the speech, there are elements of his character, his role, and his cause, while having anarchist and rebellion rhetoric, but it's still making the speech unique to Saw Gerrera. This was such good writing. And Forrest Whitaker has been absolutely amazing as Saw Gerrera. Those are just some things that I noticed. What are other historical references, Easter eggs, or favorite moments that you have from this episode? This has been some very heavy, mature, well-written content here, and it just looks to improve. I'll be back later this week with a video about episode 5, so stay tuned for that. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.